How you doing, everybody? Jay Nod, the San Antonio Metal Music Examiner with Access.com, coming to you from the bowels of 210 Capone's, where we have an incredible concert going on tonight where Queensryche is headlining the first of 2 days of the Alamo City Rock Fest, and a man you should recognize, original guitarist of Queensryche, Mr. Michael Wilton. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great.
Good to have you here.
Thank you for having us, and it's good to be in San Antonio, and we're gonna rip this place up tonight.
Can't wait to see it, and welcome back. I know obviously you guys are a touring machine right now.
We are a touring machine.
And I know obviously we're gonna get into it, you've got a long history with San Antonio. Before I get into what's going on tonight and with the band, I believe from what I've learned in the past, San Antonio was the third city maybe you've ever played behind your hometown of Seattle and Portland, Oregon back in '82. Does that sound right?
That sounds right. I think we were thrust into a huge festival here. I think it was Quiet Riot. Long time ago. Long time ago.
And so talk a little bit about your history, because I know you got a lot of radio airplay back in the day around here.
San Antonio has always been so supportive of Queensryche. They've always just blasted us on the radio, told everybody about when we're coming to town, and we've had just such amazing fan support from San Antonio. It's such a great, breeding area of hard rock and metal, and it's always been just a perfect place for Queensryche to come and invade.
Now I know this is your second time here in town with Todd, since Todd joined the band. Unfortunately, I missed the last one, so I'm so looking forward to seeing this. This is my first time seeing you guys with Todd. I know, just record-wise, sound-wise, I know you're working on a new album. So the last self-titled album probably seems like old hat to you guys because it's been out for a couple of years. But I still wanted to ask you about a couple of songs on that record before we get into the new update. Obviously, Where Dreams Go to Die was an incredible way to start off the record. Just talk about that one for a bit. Is there any story behind that one?
Well, yeah, that's a song that our other guitar player, Parker Lundgren, wrote, and it's got that, element of, semi-progressiveness in it. It's really a great album track, We all kind of, helped arrange it and put it together and make it sound very Queensryche, it was a really great feature in there with the double solo that Parker came up with. Hats off to him, and it's a really cool song to actually play live. So you'll probably hear it and see it tonight.
I love doing my little Todd impersonation when I'm listening to it on my own, when he just goes, "I'll take you there." I just love that part. But another song that I really like, it's very personal, self-explanatory if you listen to the lyrics, "A World Without."
Yeah.
Was that written strictly by Todd? What were the writing credits on that one, and just what was that one about?
Well, that's something that Scott Rockenfield came up with, and lo and behold,
come on out, Scott. He's right here. Trust us. Make a quick cameo.
I just came out of the shower.
Perfect timing.
Hi.
Perfect timing, Scott. Thank you.
Here we go.
Yeah.
It's live TV, folks, or it will be when you speak.
Yeah, Scott came up with this really creepy, intro on the keyboard. He gave that to me, and I transcribed it on guitar, and we just built it, and put a really cool solo section in there, and lots of cool, tasty sound effects, 3D stuff, and some orchestration that Scott did, and then the lyrical content is just insane.
Yeah.
Todd is he tries to really represent Queensryche in the best way he can, and by putting thought-provoking lyrics, it keeps the listener interested, and what's he saying, what does this mean, and it's always great to get the fans' interpretations of the meanings of the songs, and that was really a cool song, and we've played that live too, and that's gone over great as well.
Very moving song. So let's get ahead to Queensryche is working on the follow-up to that album. I would imagine it's going to be out in a couple months.
Right. Actually, we just finished recording all the music,
okay.
And right now it's being mixed and mastered, and then it will be delivered to our record label, Century Media Records. And we're looking at an end of September, early October release.
Okay.
I can't tell you the name yet because we're not ready to tell you the name yet. But it's really been a great endeavor. We've actually had more time to grow with all the great talent in the band.
Sure.
And everybody's really united, and the music is really encompassing of probably the first 5 Queensryche records,
Sure.
and you know, evolving naturally like Queensryche does on each album. And I can hardly wait for you know, everybody to hear this, because it's really varied, and you know,
Yeah.
there's some serious depth to this record.
Now, because I'm a journalist and not necessarily a shrewd businessman, please explain for the people out there something very unique you guys are doing, allowing your fans to have a stake in the band's name and getting some of the profits with the making of the album. Can you just kind of give a quick summation as to the thinking behind that and what exactly that entails for the people out there?
Yeah, and what he's talking about is, well, there's 2 phases. We did a pledge music account, whereas you know, these days basically you don't get huge advances from the record companies anymore. So bands are doing this. They're doing, you know, doing special offerings on pledge music, and you know, bringing the fans into the investment. You know, it's like pre-buying the CDs, buying a guitar, buying a drum set, some time, you know, to spend with the band, and all these things. And then, you know, we took it up a step level where we actually have because we are a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
And businesses, you know, sell shares to build the company bigger, right? So it's kind of an equity raise that we did. It's centered around the Jobs Act that was brought into Congress a few years ago, and it's just you know, for small businesses, I guess they can do this. You know, anybody can do this, right? You just have to have a corporation, which we happen to have. So yeah, we're just we're offering, you know, a small percentage of it to raise capital to build, you know, to bring Queensryche back to the day of, you know, big, huge performances with visuals and lots more video and videos, and just, you know, and that's just kind of what you need these days, right? Because, you know, the CD sales aren't as huge as they used to be. So it's a creative way, you know, for bands to do things. And if you have a corporation, you know, you can always offer a little bit. And you know, we've got a few people that have done that, and now they're members of the Queensryche machine and get to you know, endure a lot of fun, you know. So, and if you're interested, you could go to Queensryche Official and go to the pledge, and there's links and all that stuff, you know, if that's your thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a business thing, you know. It's totally not musical. It's just hardcore business.
Now, one thing I've been wanting to, because this is my first chance to talk to you in a long time, maybe outside of backstage at Sunken Gardens about 5 years ago, during a meet and greet after the show. But one thing I've always wondered and admired about bands such as yourself, when you have a core of guys that have been around from the get-go, from day one, 30+ years,
Right,
and I covered that 30th anniversary show in 2011 you guys did at the Majestic, when you played something from every album. And there's just the musicianship and the tightness of you guys. It's not something to be taken for granted, but outside of maybe Rush, I mean, and we know Neil's not technically the original, but 40 years will cut him some slack.
Well, we love Rush.
Yes, and I mean, outside of them, maybe there's very few bands that have the original core. You, Eddie, and Scott have been together for so long. What is the secret to your friendship, your relationship? When you live together, you're constantly traveling together, and we know you get on each other's nerves every once in a while. How do you maintain that drive to go forward, put out music, and to stay together?
I think it's with any type of relationship. You know, there's a lot of give and take, but you know, there's just a love of music, a love of you know, the ingredients of Queensryche. You know, the creation, everybody's different creative elements and influences and everything. It just, you know, kind of works, right? And so that's kind of what we believe in, you know. And now bringing partner and Todd into the element, you know, Todd has just seamlessly come into the fold and just knows, you know, he's got the feel, he's got the support of the fans, and things are just looking really great for us. So it's just a matter of, you know, we love what we do, you know, and the reason we do this is because people want to see us, people want to hear our CDs. So as long as there's that aspect of it, we'll be around, you know, until we drop dead.
Well, I want to ask you a little more about Todd, because obviously you guys probably know that he was in Crimson Glory. That's basically, you know, his claim to fame before he joined Queensryche and has gone up. And I don't know if you know this, but his former partner in crime in Crimson Glory, guitarist Ben Jackson, is playing with one of the San Antonio openers tonight here, Project Terror. When did you guys first hook up with Todd? How did you hear about it? Was there an audition process? What does he bring to the band that you may not have had before?
Well, I mean, it's, Todd and I ran into each other, a few years ago at the NAMM convention, and just, hit it off as friends, and just possibly working on some demos together on other things, and things just happened as they did, and it kind of grew into this, and there was an opportunity, and we gave him the opportunity, and he brought it, and what it brings to the forefront of Queensryche is that he's an accomplished drummer. He can get his way around on the guitar, and he's a kick-ass singer. He's got a 5-octave range, on a good day, right? So he communicates on the level as a musicianship,
right?
He talks musicianship to the band as well as just the camaraderie,
right.
and everything else that he brings. But that's kind of it. He's one of the guys, and it's what it is. It's a group, endeavor now.
Right.
It's not one guy saying it's got to be this way. It's just everybody, giving their best and just making Queensryche music the best that it can be. So, and that aspect, as I said, he seamlessly just came into this, and just it's really amazing to see the energy on stage and just see the the vibe that's happening on stage again. It's really cool.
Now, there's a lot of bands these days that have the so-called, 2 versions, 2 factions, 2 LA Guns, 2 Great Whites. Nobody goes into it saying we want 2 factions, we want 2 sides. Musical marriages and divorces happen, it's a fact of life, but I would say, in my opinion, just my opinion, when it comes to Queensryche, if you're going to have 2 factions, this is almost, even though it was kind of messy for a while, this is kind of what you want. It seems that both sides are happy. You've got both sides of fans who, we live in a free country where you can choose sides or choose to like both. Mm-hmm. You guys, not that you needed a kick at, just a resurgence energetically, you already had that. But now you've got, that core of fans that have been dying to hear those old songs again. You've got such a killer voice singing those songs. I don't want to say rebirth or renaissance, but did you feel that there was a resurgence when Todd joined the band? And also, was there a part of you that said, well, we're kind of throwing away part of us of 30 years, but it's a new chapter or a new beginning? I mean, how would you describe the whole switch?
I mean, for us, it was just something of continuing the name, but it's actually the fans that have been telling us that this is like the new Queensryche. This is the rebirth of the band. It's the fans that are saying this. It's not us.
Right.
We're just doing what we love to do, and and we're working really hard on it. We had to struggle through a couple of arduous years, and but we've come out on top, and we're really really happy that it's all going so well. So yeah, I mean it's happens in life. You got ups and downs, and you take advantage of opportunities, and we did, and everybody believed in it, and Queensryche is kicking ass right now.
That's awesome. Well, we're going to let Michael and the guys get ready for the show. A long, storied history with San Antonio. Hopefully you guys will continue to come back on a yearly, semi-yearly basis.
Yes, you know it.
Always welcome here. So Michael, thank you so much for taking the time. Absolute pleasure. Have a great show tonight and enjoy the rest of the tour. Good luck with the new album. So for Michael, it's Jay Nanda, San Antonio Metal Music Examiner for Access.com, reminding you, don't hang them out to dry. Hold them up high.